Hey, what's up, you guys? And I wanted to make a quick video about a new series that I'm going to be putting out here in a little bit that's going to be called Average Rob Runs. And kind of a little background about the series and why I created it. It has to do with running. Of course, my name is Robert, so Rob. Um, and it has to do maybe with like shoe reviews and techniques, things that I did over the past 2 years with running. And some of you viewers from my previous videos, you may be able to tell that I've lost quite a bit of weight. Some of you might be new and don't know my background. If you need to, go check out some of my older videos. But the reason why I started running, and prior to this, I've never been a runner. I was never a runner in high school. I was never a runner at any time of my life. I did play football, I did play hockey, but those are, kind of short spurts. As far as running is concerned, and usually in hockey you're on skates of some sort. So that's kind of my background. I did ride bikes a lot. I did a lot of BMX riding. I did some skateboarding, things of that nature. So when I was younger, when I was in high school, and that kind of eventually took a toll on my knees and my ankles and so on and so forth. And when I broke my arm in a car accident when I was 18 years old, it really set me back as far as my health, my weight, just everything. Just really set me back. Being told that I would never be able to lift and do the things that I wanted to do prior to the car accident. So, needless to say, I've been working in EMS since I was 20 years old. So I've moved a lot of patients. I've, ran a lot of, car accidents and things of that nature. And, but, I on my days off, it was, I would sit on the couch and, watch movies and TV and, I'll mow the lawn and things of that nature. But I never really took into account my health as far as like cardio and so on and so forth. So about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, it was about 2.5 years ago, I was getting ready for work, and I was putting on my work uniform, and I was having to go up a belt size. And that was really I already knew I was big, but that really was like the turning point, was moving up a belt size that I had been in for many years, that I was, I felt like I was like comfortable with. And I said, enough is enough. Like, I've got to do something about this. And I knew the only way that I would lose weight quickly, efficiently, so on and so forth, is through cardio workout. You can diet, you can do, the ketos and Atkins and all these other diets out there. Some of them work, some of them don't. But the easiest, most efficient way to lose weight is to just get out and exercise and go out and run. So I went out and I bought a cheap pair of Nike running shoes. I think they only cost like $35, and I started with those, and I actually started at like, I think it was like a mile and a half, and it wasn't even a mile or a mile and a half straight. I think what I would do is I'd maybe jog for 2 minutes, and then I'd walk for 5 and then jog. So it'd be like an interval type of thing. And I'd, do that for 30 minutes a day. And after the first week, I was feeling good enough. I mean, I hopped on the weight scale and really nothing was coming off, but I hopped on the weight scale and, it was nothing really changing. My pant size really hadn't changed. There's nothing really changing. And I decided to, on my last day, which I think was like a Sunday or something, I said, you know what, I'm gonna jog the whole mile and a half or whatever straight. And I did. I was able to do it. I was able to complete it after the first week. And here's somebody that has never run. I'm not a runner. I'm just the average person, getting out there and trying to do their best to run. So I started running, and I got that mile and a half. And after that, it was the motivating factor. I was like, I was able to do it once. I can do it again. So I started the next week, and I started just doing, a mile and a half every day. Come home from work, mile and a half, or on my day off, get up in the morning, do a mile and a half. It was just a mile and a half every day. And at the end of week 2, it was like I was documenting all of this, and I was seeing my times get quicker and quicker and quicker. And then I would start pushing myself a little bit further and further and further. So at that point, it was kind of like, okay, let's just keep doing this. And then it was probably after week 3, I started seeing some results. I started seeing some weight come off of the weight scale. I started seeing pant sizes fit better and shirts fit better and everything's fitting better. So I just kept going and kept going and kept going, and bought another pair of shoes. And after the first 100 miles, because I think at one point I was weighing, like, the heaviest point I weighed just over 250 pounds, and that's when I said enough was enough. So I started seeing the weight come off, and I had to go into another pair of shoes. And I started learning, researching a little bit more about shoes and about running techniques and stretches and all of these things to just help me run. And again, I'm not a competitive runner. I don't enter myself in half marathons and all that kind of stuff. I know there's a lot of guys. I respect every one of these runners that are on YouTube, but a lot of these guys are like, I don't want to say professional athletes, but they consistently get themselves involved in like half marathons and full marathons and so on and so forth. I'm not that person. I'm just an average guy that wanted to lose weight and was able to do it. And because of that, I've become kind of a shoe connoisseur a bit, especially for running shoes, because there's certain things that I look for in a shoe that maybe other people might not take a look at. And I'm not a professional at it. I'm not one of those guys that dissects an entire shoe. I'm just a guy that, I see what works and what doesn't work, and I just kind of go from there. So at one point, I had lost, I think it was like 65 pounds. I was down to like 180 pounds. And I'm not going to lie, I looked very sickly because I wasn't doing it right. I was giving myself the wrong nutrition. I wasn't giving myself the nutrients that my body needed in order to stay up every day. And I was sometimes running 2 times a day at 5 miles each time, 5-6 miles each time, and just wasting my body. And I realized that that's just not healthy. My joints hurt, my feet hurt, my muscles hurt every single day. And I know that's part of being an athlete, but it was becoming enough was enough. So eventually I had to take a few steps back and put back on some weight. So I did some weight training, so on and so forth. So I am up like 20 pounds from what I was. I'm hovering right between 200, 210. So I'm not like one of those marathon runners that weigh like 160 pounds and, or less, and able to run, 25, whatever miles, 26.2, I think is what it is, 26.2. I can't do that. The furthest I've ever been able to run is like 11 and a half miles. So when I talk to you guys about the shoes and techniques and stuff like that, keep in mind that I'm not talking like some of these other professional guys out there that are saying, oh, well, I ran 13 miles today in this pair of shoes. listen, my mileage is probably only going to average about 4 or 5 miles each run. But I put the mileage in. I'm an average person. I'm not a runner. I'm not a professional. That's part of the reason why I'm making this show, is to kind of give you my perspective of certain shoes, what works for me and what might work for you. That you can run, you can lose weight. It doesn't matter what age you are. I started running when I was 31 years old. It is what it is. And again, I was never a runner prior to this. I was never a track star or any of that. So that's another reason why I'm creating this, is to kind of prove to everyone out there that it doesn't matter what age you are. If you are willing to put forth the effort, yes, it is going to hurt. Yes, it is going to suck. You are not going to see instant satisfaction, gratification from running, but you progressively get better. And that's the most important part. And that's part of the reason why I'm creating this series, is to just prove to you guys that everyone can do it if you just do some research, find what works for you, and never give up. Never, ever give up on running or whatever physical activity that you're going to do. So that's a new show that I'm kind of starting up. Just to kind of give you guys a heads up, I mean, I've ran in the past 2 years, almost 1,700 miles in the past 2 years. I've gone through multiple pairs of shoes, running that amount of miles. So, stay tuned. Please, if you are looking to lose weight, or you're just a runner, or, just the average Joe looking for advice and influence, please stay tuned. If you have any comments, questions, so on, that I can maybe make an episode on, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to try to answer them in my upcoming videos. But I have a few that I've recorded that are some shoe reviews already. Just want to give you guys a heads up on what's coming up. So thank you guys for watching, and enjoy the run.